Have you ever laid awake at night and stared at the ceiling while wondering if the numbers on your bank statement are actually enough to carry you to the end of your journey? It is a heavy thought that many of us carry as we enter our 60s and 70s in this year of 2026. We have spent decades working and saving and sacrificing, but now that the finish line is in sight, a new fear begins to creep in. It is not just the fear of running out of money. It is the fear of losing your independence and becoming a financial or physical burden to the children you worked so hard to provide for. You have a number in your head, and maybe that number is $1 million, or $2 million, or even $3 million. You think that once you hit that milestone, you will finally be safe. But here is the truth that most financial advisors will not tell you. A number is just a number until you understand exactly how it translates into your daily life and your family's protection. In the world of 2026, where healthcare costs are rising and inflation feels like a constant shadow, the old rules of thumb are breaking down. The traditional 4% rule that worked for our parents might not be enough to keep your head above water today. Today, we are going to look past the surface and perform a deep reality check on what $1 million and $2 million and $3 million really buy you in today's economy. We are going to move away from the hype and focus on the one thing that truly matters, which is your peace of mind. Let us start by addressing the elephant in the room, which is the difference between being wealthy on paper and being secure in reality. You might have a high net worth because your home has doubled in value over the last 10 years. But you cannot go to the grocery store and pay with a piece of your kitchen counter. You cannot pay for a specialized medical procedure using the equity in your backyard. True retirement security comes from liquid investable assets and a strategy that generates income no matter what the stock market does tomorrow. Let us begin with the $1 million reality check. For many people, reaching $1 million feels like the ultimate achievement. It is the classic benchmark of success. In 2026, if you retire at age 62 with $1 million in investable assets, what does your life actually look like? If we use a conservative withdrawal rate of around 4.7%, your portfolio will generate roughly $47,000 per year. When you add the average Social Security benefit of about $23,000 a year, you are looking at a total gross income of $70,000. For a single person or a couple with a paid-off mortgage, $70,000 a year is a solid and respectable floor. It provides for the basics, and it ensures you are not struggling for essentials. But here is the anxiety lives. At this level, there is very little room for error. One major roof repair or a sudden medical complication not covered by insurance can shake the entire foundation. This is why, at the $1 million level, your primary goal is not growth, but the creation of a safety floor. Data across thousands of retirees shows that our actual spending tends to decline by 1 to 2% every year as we age. You will likely spend more at age 65 on travel and hobbies than you will at age 85. Understanding this allows you to breathe a little easier, because you do not need to maintain a flat level of spending forever. However, you must be extremely careful about what we call the sequence of returns risk. If the market drops significantly in the first 3 years of your retirement and you continue to pull money out, you could permanently damage your portfolio's ability to recover. At the $1 million level, you are safe, but you must be disciplined, and you must have a plan for the lean years. Now let us move to the $2 million game changer. If you have reached $2 million, you have moved beyond basic safety and into the realm of real options. This is where we can implement what I call the freedom bridge, using a 2-bucket strategy. At this level, you might be considering retiring early, perhaps at age 55 or 60, before Social Security even kicks in. The biggest mistake people make here is treating that $2 million as one giant pile of money. Instead, imagine splitting it into two distinct buckets with two different jobs. Bucket number 1 is your early retirement bridge. This is the money you will live on for the first 7 to 10 years, while you are at your healthiest and most active. Because this bucket only needs to last a decade, you can afford to be a bit more aggressive with your withdrawals. You can use this money to fund those dream trips and the lifestyle you promised yourself while you were working 60 hours a week. Meanwhile, bucket number 2 sits untouched. It stays invested in the market, and it grows for 10 years without you ever taking a single dollar out. By the time you reach age 67 or 70, and your Social Security benefits are at their maximum, bucket number 2 has likely grown significantly. This strategy gives you the best of both worlds. You get to enjoy your youngest retirement years without the guilt of overspending, and you secure your older years through long-term growth. With $2 million, you are not just surviving, you are choosing how to live. You can afford the premium healthcare plans, and you can afford to help your grandchildren with their education without feeling a pinch in your own pocket. But as your wealth grows, so do the complications. And this brings us to the $3 million legacy shield. When you reach the $3 million mark, you have achieved true financial freedom. Statistically, you are in the top few percent of retirees. But this is also where the government becomes very interested in your success. In 2026, having $3 million in a traditional individual retirement account, or 401k, creates a massive tax target on your back. There are two major traps that can eat away at your peace of mind at this level. The first is what we call the required minimum distributions, which start at age 73 or 75, depending on your birth year. The government forces you to take money out of your accounts, whether you need it or not. With a $3 million portfolio, those forced withdrawals can easily be in the 6 figures. Suddenly, you are pushed into a much higher tax bracket, and you might find yourself paying significantly more for Medicare because of income-related monthly adjustment amounts. This is an invisible tax that hits high earners, and it can cost you thousands of extra dollars every year in premiums. The second trap is perhaps the most emotional one, and it is called the widow penalty. If you are a married couple, you are likely filing your taxes jointly, which provides a more favorable tax bracket. But if one spouse passes away, the survivor is forced to file as a single person. The income from Social Security and retirement accounts often stays relatively high, but the tax brackets shrink. This means the surviving spouse ends up paying a much higher percentage of their income to the government, at a time when they are most vulnerable. This is why, at the $3 million level, your strategy must shift from investment management to tax management. You should be looking at strategic Roth conversions while you are still in your 60s. By paying the taxes now at a known rate, you are protecting your spouse and your heirs from a massive tax bill in the future. You are turning that $3 million into a legacy shield that cannot be pierced by changing tax laws or government mandates. So let us look at the big picture as we stand here in 2026. $1 million buys you safety, and it ensures that your basic needs are met and that you will not be a burden for the essentials. $2 million buys you options, and it allows you to retire early and enjoy your healthiest years while building a bridge to the future. $3 million buys you true freedom and the ability to leave a lasting legacy for your family, but only if you are smart enough to protect it from taxes. Regardless of which category you fall into, the key is to remember that retirement is not a single long event. Your needs at age 60 are not the same as your needs at age 90. A good plan reflects that reality. It is not about having the most money in the graveyard, It is about having exactly what you need to live with dignity and to know that your family is secure. I want you to take a moment and think about your own situation. Do not just look at the total number. Look at your liquid assets. Look at your tax liabilities. And most importantly, look at your plan for the next 5 years. If you do not have a written strategy for how you will withdraw your money, you do not have a retirement plan. Yet you just have a savings account. Take the time this weekend to sit down and map out your income buckets. Consult with a tax professional about Roth conversions before the laws change again. Check your Medicare thresholds to avoid those hidden surcharges. The work you do now is what creates the peace of mind you will enjoy for the next 30 years. You have worked hard for your money, and you have made the sacrifices. Now it is time to make that money work for you and for the people you love. There is no greater feeling than waking up and knowing that no matter what happens in the world, your home is secure and your family is protected. That is the true definition of a successful retirement. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope these insights have helped you see your path more clearly. Take a deep breath and remember that you are in control of your financial future. I look forward to seeing you in the next discussion.